Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, tonight's statement is Jonathan Jackson is returning to General Hospital. You know, I posed a question, I think, last year, and wondering what people would sit there and think if Jonathan Jackson, aka Lucky, came back to the show. We got a lot going on. We got people coming, we got people going, we got Morgan coming for a day, we got Finn, aka Michael Easton, leaving the show. We got Lucky, aka Johnson Jackson, returning. We got a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about all the soaps, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born the Beautiful, Young and the Restless. Let's sit there and do a quick roll call and get this started. Black Ma is in the chat. Amy is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Black Ma, aka Mr. GQ. Ed is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Tommy is in the chat. How you doing tonight? And Amy, I see you changed your picture. Okay, changed your picture. All right. I saw the comment. Somebody said you need to retire that picture or something. So that's interesting. Queen of the South, how is the Queen doing tonight? And Terrell is in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to Terrell. Happy Hum Day. Oh, today is Terrell's birthday. Okay. Jada is in the chat. Happy birthday, Queen of the South. Quiet guys in the chat. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing good, Ed. I'm doing good. And Jada, it's good to see you. It's been a hot minute. And let me make sure I write down your name. Yes, Terrell. Happy birthdays. Terrell Eugene. Okay. All right, so yes, happy birthday. I hope you had a good day and thank you for joining the stream tonight. Now, Ed says, I'm happy to see Johnson Jackson return to GH. I just hope the writing is there for him because he's talented and I don't want to see his character get wasted. Yes. That's the thing, right? Right, Chad? Yeah. We're all happy that he's returning. I would like other actors to return, but we're going to sit there and look at the writing and see where that's at. All right. In fact, I didn't sit there and open this shit up sooner. I was saying something. Yeah, that's right, Chad. We got a lot to talk about. I think somebody mentioned Devon, so we got to talk about that. Devon and Lily and how their acting went sideways to the point where I think they were just acting a little bit too real. And now they're both sitting there accusing each other of being like, what are you doing? I'm just playing my part. I'm just playing my part. Well, y'all playing your part a little bit too well. Terrell says, I'm not very surprised about Michael firing from GH. I think it's long overdue. This show is finally able to clean house and go back to its roots. Well, Terrell, they didn't sit there and say he was fired. Never said he was fired. Cass is also wonder if he's going to be a cop again. I want to see how his relationship with Aiden's going to play out. And Dante. You got Dante, you got Chase on the force. What's going to go on with that? But yeah, they never say he was fired. We don't know that. Now Jada says Lucky coming back is the best news I've ever heard in a while, but the writers want to fumble so hard. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That is the key, right? Writing has to be there. Otherwise, what are we doing, right? Okay. So as I sit there and say in every stream, um, there is 14 people. There is one of me. So how you doing tonight, Laura B? There's 14 people in this chat. There's one of me. I'm not going to be able to sit there and read every single comment. So if I do miss your comment, do not sit there and take it personal. Um, just write it again, or just know that I'll sit there and try to get to one of your future comments. So, oh yeah, because she's all like, "What? Xander's mom is coming back?" Which, by the way, I thought Bonnie's not there trash talking her, and then not there saying, "Oh well, I would sit there and say it to your face." I wouldn't sit there and say anything behind your back that I wouldn't say to your face. You didn't sit there and say that to her face. You literally said that behind her back. So that kind of null and voids what you just said. But I hope you had a good day, Laura B. It's good to see you. Um, yes, Jonathan Jackson is returning back to General Hospital. This is what a lot of people have been supposed to talk about today. I've been talking about it. James have been talking about it. Um, Krista, Krista Perez, Ramirez, Ramirez. How have you been? So good to see you again. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, we got a lot to talk. We got a lot to get into. Yes, exactly. Happy birthday to Terrell. Thank you for sharing your birthday and coming here and spending it with us. I appreciate you. And Krista says hi to everyone. Me too, Lobby. Me too. It's crazy, Lobby. We got Jonathan Jackson that's coming. We have Michael Easton that's leaving. You know, it's just a lot. Dolomedics was good, Dolomedics. I hope you had a good birthday yesterday. Dolomedic's birthday was yesterday, so I hope you are well. And so was my girl Alyssa. Her birthday was yesterday as well. As said Dr. Green, game with Leo. Games for Leo, he must be bisexual because of what was that with Leo? Yeah, I don't really understand that, yes. I don't really get what he's doing. He's like, yeah, my girlfriend I was just talking to. Yeah, it's crazy, Lobby. I'm glad to hear that, Dolomedics. Glad to hear that, my friend. You deserve a good birthday. Oh, you deserve one good. I mean, you deserve everything, but you deserve at least to have a good birthday. You know, I think a lot of people deserve to have a good birthday. Not everyone. That's true, Terrell. From the '90s, he is actually old school lucky. You're correct. And Kevin did notice Douglas once passed as Thomas' wife, not Hope. Well, I think he's sort of writing on the wall. Hope not wanting to be his wife, and you know. So he wants his dad to be with somebody who wants to be with him. Patty, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're well. Um, but Hope, I already roasted her ass in my review. Now, don't accept the Chanel Johnny thing is so stupid. Sadly, miscarriages are not uncommon for some people early on. It's yeah, but they are leaving. They're just leaving in a bad on bad terms. I'm doing pretty good, Patty. I'm doing pretty damn good. Terrell says I'm not feeling about Thomas moving on with Paris instead of Hope. Are you not? Why is that, Terrell? Speak your mind. Terrell, I was surprised they actually went with the miscarriage thing. I did not see that coming. I don't know why, but I didn't see it coming. Hope Smith they acting like she's the center of the goddamn universe. Oh, what her problem is. Begging this man, and then Smith is saying, "Oh well, I just want what's best for you." No, you don't. Kyrie's Clark, the one and only. Kyrie's you live streaming tonight? LaShawn is Michael Easton out? Yes, LaShawn. Michael Easton is out as far as General Hospital is concerned. That's very true. Ron. Someone needs to slap Hope back to reality, so she expects Thomas to welcome her back with open arms. With open arms? Well, I'm about the slapping part, but yeah, she does need a reality check. Jada says I've been watching it the past 2 weeks. Yes, it is, Jada. Yes, it is. And Jada, I don't know if the last time you watched it, they still didn't figure out who took out Austin, who killed Austin. I know the real writers can do better. Scapegoat. What do you mean Pauline is a scapegoat? I don't get it. Terrell says I have a question. And Kenneth Clark, what is good? Can't stay long. Having dinner with the family. It's good to see you, Kenneth Clark. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. Terrell says I have a question for you, Albert. Are you going to support the animated YouTube soaps? And why am I going to support the animated YouTube soap? What do you mean animated YouTube soap? In times like these. Well, I didn't know anything about an animated YouTube soap. So, I don't know. So I gotta sit there and see what it looks like. Oh, okay, why not check it out? Blaming Paulina for the miscarriage. But see, that's the thing, though. LaShawn said Thomas Force is not really in love with Paris. I'm still Team Taupe. Wow, okay. All right, LaShawn. I respect that. I respect that. But Dolometics, on some level, and listen, I did my review, and I'm split. I'm split because, yes, um, by all definition, that radiation poison was because of Paulina. The miscarriage probably had a lot to do with the radiation poison because of Paulina. Yes, she did sit there and try to help, but um that's just the reality of the situation. Gary says yes, I'm live streaming. I saw the replay of last night. Apparently I'm a cloud chaser who mean to someone. Tell your jealous tell your friend jealously like her hair and personality ain't good color. I'm sorry, what? What? I'm sorry. Darby! What is good, Darby? What's good, my friend? What? I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm a cloud chaser who mean to someone. Tell your friend jealously like her hair and personality ain't good color. Uh, when did she say that? What the fuck? Girl says, in times like this is created by my friend Goner, who is also another channel in which he covers true crime chase cases. Groomer voices all the characters in the series. I, I think I know who you're talking about, Terrell. And yeah, if you're talking about the same person, yes, I do support his channel. I actually do support his channel. Yes, he actually has some really Terrell. He actually has some really good content. If it's the person that I yes, he's I stumbled to his channel by um by accident, but I was like, yo, your friend is actually really good. Kenneth said, after my friend, I still don't believe Luna is Bill's father. Yeah, it's I can see that now, Kenneth. I can. Some's a little fishy. I'll sit there and say, Carrie said towards the drama mark, she was talking shit. Oof. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't remember. To be fair, Carrie, I probably didn't see it. I'm going to be honest, Carrie. I was such a drinker so much, I didn't even remember her actually being in my chat. So I'm sorry that she actually did talk about you. Um, but I didn't remember a lot of. I was drinking a lot, so I don't remember her actually saying that. Did I say something in response? Domax said the thing that sucks is it's early enough in the pregnancy that she could have miscarried and it could have nothing to do with the radiation. There's no way to know. That's true. That's true. That's true. Rashawn says, when is Faith going to meet her cousin Claire? That's a good question. Ken said, oh, I'm still a little tick. Everyone looked great in the summer pictures. I didn't see a picture of my bill. Dollar bill, Kenneth, dollar bill. But no, I'm sorry that that happened though, Carries. I don't even remember if I responded to that. I was so tipsy, honestly, to tell you the truth. I wasn't drunk and I didn't even remember that. Ron said, "Okay, I'm happy Steffi shut that is down. She was like, we ain't going down that road regarding her brother. Meaning that Hope is not going to continue to use him as a sex toy. You tell him, Ron. Lay it down. You preach, Ron. You preach. You know, Kevin, it's getting a little sound sus. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a little kind of sus. It says Ava versus Sunny over Avery on the way. This is all about to get crazy. And will Ava reveal that Sunny was off his meds to win? Ooh, a trump card. A trump card. Lorby says, I think Stephanie was being a jerk, kicking Hope when she was down. Hmm. 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 Lorby, you have such a good heart. I I envy you at times, Lorby. Your level of compassion and understanding. Tommy says, I didn't trust Claire, but like Claire still got a lot of plans. Claire says you were joking about the people that were talking about your taste in women. You said, why my name mentioning Kyrie's dream. Hideous woman said, I'm just a cloud chaser. You corrected her. Then she said, I mean to her, you said you, sorry, I meant, oh, okay. I do remember that, Kyrie, because I came to your live stream and somebody was sitting there talking about the only reason why I like Donna is because of her boobs. And I did agree on that. So I do remember that. But yeah, I did correct that, Kyrie. I know exactly what I said. Kenneth said, have a good night, guys. Margarita. Ooh, okay. All right, my dude. I respect that, Kenneth. You have a good night, my friend. Darby says, Albert, today Therese was pooping bricks when she. Yeah, exactly, Darby. Yo, she said something that's so sus that even Bonnie and Alex was like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? I do remember you saying something about that, Kyrie. So I think I did sit there and say, so, you know what? What's good, Jakaris? How are you doing, my friend? I did sit there and say, listen, Kyrie's, he does his streams the way he does his streams, and you know, um, I know I defended you. I just don't remember exactly what I said. Um, I'm not gonna lie, Kyrie's part of me was like, I do remember me. I'm not gonna lie, Kyrie. So I actually kind of thought I was like, oh shit, did I say something bad about Kyrie? So I was like, I don't remember that. I don't remember me feeling like I adamantly did defend you. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I do remember you saying defending you adamantly. I was intoxicated. Yeah, Jakaris, I know. I thought about you when I was watching Days of Our Lives about Johnny and Chanel. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that shit coming though. I did not see that coming. I was like, okay. I mean, it was dark, and I like dark, but I was just surprised he went there, especially before he left. As I said, Christina was out of line. All right, Jakar. So look forward to watching it. It's been a minute since you've done a review, Jakar. So I'm like, isn't there waited? I've been waiting on bated breath for you to sit there and do a review. It says, I would have messaged you. I just saw it a few minutes ago. Just thought to address it head on, but she's not important. She's just a jealous waste of space. Don't fuck her. Never will. Okay, no, here's the thing, Kyrie. I know I've seen. Yeah, you've been on a break. Yeah, no, I get it, you cars. It's good to see you post again. And no, Kyrie, I just remember defending you. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of out of it. I did have a couple of drinks, so I just Kyrie, I hope I didn't say anything bad to you or bad about you. I don't think I did. As Christina was out of line going to Alexis and filing a petition because TJ and Molly held one fight. She didn't even follow up with Molly. Yes, they had one fight, just one fight. And you know what? You know what Alexis said? Alexis is like, and I don't know if I said this in my review. Why are you not happy that Lucky's returning, Jakaris? I'm very curious on your take. But nah, curious. I was just hoping I didn't say anything about you. Patty says, Soap Dirt says they fight that next week. Hmm. Charles, how you doing tonight, Charles? Jakara said this is not the Lucky that I remember watching. Okay. All right. No, all right. I appreciate your I appreciate your opinion. I have something to say about it after I get through these other two questions. Harry says you're good. I spoke my piece now. Move on. I can't wait for Teresa to leave. I can't wait for her to leave Days of Our Lives also. Um, Carrie, I'm not gonna. Here's the thing: when I get tipsy and I get a little drunk, I may just sit there and say some out of pocket shit. So I tend to go on these apology tours in case I said something out of pocket or wrong. Darby says, I'll tell you what I remember you saying. I'll let you know when I had enough of alcohol. Now take 20 steps the hell away from my Darby. Okay. So Chikara says, I'm only going to talk about Johnny Chanel in my review. Well, it's your review, Chikara's. So, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about in your review. That is your prerogative. Prerogative. You know what I mean. Terrell says, how do you feel about Jay's recent racism controversy that I'm not going to mention here? Oh, Terrell, yo, that chick is out. That chick lost her goddamn mind. You know what, Terrell? You know what actually really pisses me off? I went to her page. Her page is still up. Okay, Terrell, her page is still up. She says some of the most racist bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, she said a lot of racist shit, and for her page to still be up is it's like it's insane. What's good, Jay Blue? Perspective. What do you mean perspective? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, Jakaras. Ron says, "What do you think about Abe and Paulina?" Okay, I think you asked a bigger question, so let me get to that bigger question. Um, where the hell is your question? I know who that carry woman is. Who says some racist stuff? Oh, Patty, some chick on. Okay, Jay Blue says a fan view on the fence situation. Chase is as a self-righteous jerk. Brooklyn needs to have her own baby. They snatched his daughter. They snatched his daughter. Whoa. Okay. They snatched his daughter. Okay. I just now read it. Yeah, Jakaris. Yeah. And no, Pat. It was a woman on Twitter who still has her account. They snatched her daughter. Jay Blue. They snatched her daughter. They mean more like Finn was acting like an out of control with a wild perspective. Oh, yeah, that is a wild perspective. Jay Blue. For a fan to sit there and say that they snatched the daughter. Okay, Ron. Ron says, Albert, what's your take on Abe and Paulina when she got the news regarding the people of Salem not worried about her? I think she should have changed the decision. I think she should have too, Ron. Not just because EJ is a corrupt POS, but like, um, how you doing tonight, Crystal? Well, Jay Blue, it's actually really funny. It's possible. I know it's out of pocket, Jay Blue, but you know, James always sits there and say that 10 people can watch a soap opera and have 10 different reactions. Like, you can watch something and have 10 different reactions. It doesn't mean it's a right reaction. It doesn't mean it's a right perspective or a right take, but it's a take nonetheless. But Jakaris, I gotta ask you a question though. I gotta ask you a question, Jakaris. If you're still in the chat, let me know if you're still in the chat, so I can ask you this question. I'm very curious about your. I'm very curious. I'm gonna ask you a question, Jakaris. And Kyrie, you got a big night ahead of you now too. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, Jay Blues. Like it doesn't make sense. And I've realized. I'll tell you this much, Jay Blue. There's times when I'll sit there and talk to people in here who I have a different perspective on something, and sometimes I feel like that person's perspective is so far left. I'm just like, part of me is just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I realized that it's just a different perspective than me, and I gotta respect that, even if I don't agree with that. But your cards, let me know if you're in the chat though. I want to ask you a question. I don't get to see you too often, so I want to ask you a question. Um, but I do feel like Paulina should have fought. Okay, let's just talk about the Paulina situation. The Paulina situation with Chanel Smith there blaming Paulina. Here's my thing on that. On one hand, yes, that's true, Patty. On one hand, Paulina did have poison radiation. Absolutely, Terrell. Absolutely, Terrell. I'm going to be reviewing that show. We're going to be reviewing it. We're going to be talking about it in the chat. Um, yes, on one hand, because of Paulina's radiation, because she was near Chanel, most likely, that's the cause of miscarriage. Okay, most likely, it could come on and be something different. But if that's the case, then it is Paulina's fault, right? It is Paulina's fault. She had to sit there and own that. On the other hand, hypothermia is a real thing. Okay, and everyone keeps to say, well, Johnny would eventually found Chanel. Okay, eventually, maybe, possibility, whatever. I don't think that people understand how at the bank. I don't think that people understand how hypothermia works. Mika, what's good, my friend? I don't think that people understand how hypothermia works. Okay? There could have been a chance that Johnny could have found Chanel, but it also could have been a chance that Johnny could have found a corpse. Okay? And then there's the symptoms of hypothermia, frostbite. Okay? There's a lot of things that could have went wrong. So when people sit there and say, well, eventually Johnny would have found Chanel, okay, but he may not have found her in time. So I do feel like people are, she didn't mean it to happen. And my whole thing is, while Chanel is upset about Paulina, Chanel was only there probably because of Paulina. Chanel, you only get to sit there and be upset because Paulina saved you from death. Rancias, Albert, when she got good news, she should have rethink her decision to have corrupt EJ removed. Yeah, I don't think that's how that would actually work though. Patty says frostbite would have caused a miscarriage. Yes. There's a lot of things that could have happened with frostbite, Patty. Terrell says, do you think that they should trim the cast before 6? No. No, Terrell. Because they do a good job as far as rotating. They do a good job as far as rotating their cast. Unlike General Hospital, who just rolls in a bunch of characters and just sit there and say, hey, let's do that. They just a lot more smart. So no, they don't need to sit there. Yeah, exactly. And Lashanta is a member again. Yes. What happened, Darby? You don't want to be a member anymore? Did I do something wrong? Ed says Alex continues with his disregard of justice like he was your father for over 30 years, and it's disgusting. I can't wait for all the smoke when that wedding blows up in his face. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little. It is. And I agree with 100% with that statement. Jay Blue says, Albert, yesterday you said that Ava switched out Sonny's meds with placebos. I didn't see it in the episode. No, Jay Blue. I said that Ava switched out Morgan medication with placebos. No, she didn't do anything to Sunny's medication. She did that to Morgan's medication. Darby says, "Not you. Life happens. Working on it." Okay. All right. I just, just want to make sure, Darby. Yeah, Jake. Yeah, that's what I meant. Harry says you're drinking like a fish. I gotta be. Uh, yes, Gary's my guy. Gary's my guy. I love that guy. That's my dude right there. Noah says, how do you feel about the current soap trying to attract the TikTok audience these days? What current soap opera is trying to attract TikTok audiences? Oh shit! Let's everyone thank Kyrie's Clark and what's good Unlimited. Oh shit! Thank you, Kyrie's. Jesus Christ! Another person who I don't know was gifted. Jakaris was gifted. Nikisha Moore was gifted, and DC was actually gifted. Gorgeous Queen. Janet is in the chat. Yeah, Patty, I think you got to sit there and hit on your profile, um, accept gift, accept, how the fuck does that work? How does she actually get one? I think she got to hit like the accept button. Debbie says, what is a soap sanctuary? What's good, Richard? Yes, Jakaris was gifted. There is still, yeah, there's still, thank you. Harry says there's still one more membership available. Yeah, hit that accepted gift. I think that's how you say that. Yeah, Gary, it's actually happened. It's not to hit the bottle lately. And Darby says I heard of a soap dispenser. What did I actually say? I said DC Soap Sanctuary. I did say that. Not actually that tipsy. Not tipsy at all, actually. It's good, Richard. It's actually been a hot minute since I've seen you. How have you been? Patty says, I don't see any accepted gift. Guys, if you're still in the chat, how does that work? Yes, you guys, thank Kyrie's. Kyrie's is that dude. Janice says, Albert, are you familiar with his acting? Yes. He's a good actor. He was actually the first Lucky Jedi. He came back and he's actually pretty good. Jenna, I wonder what Tom and Poppy's story is. Harry says if you're on iPhone, switch to desktop mode. Have a good night, Jakaris. Shit, I meant to ask you something. You know what? I'll just Jakaris, I'm gonna DM you. Where the hell's my damn music at? Yes, have a good night, Jakaris. I'll ask you that. I'll message you and ask you that question. Okay, back to drinking. Yes, thank you, Patty. I mean, thank you, Carrie. Carrie says, or hit the link Albert has pinned it to accept gift as well. Yes, you can, Patty. If you actually click on the pin comment, you actually click that pin comment, it will give you the option. And Susan R, how you doing tonight? You can ask Google how to switch to desktop mode on your phone. It'll take you to YouTube tutorial. Thank you, Carrie, and thank you, Susan. You know, Laura B, it's going to be a very hard conversation. And Carrie, I got to sit there and watch your review because I was just going to sit there and be like, "Where's the review, Carrie?" I want to sit there and be like an annoying subscriber. Um, to like ask super adamantly about where's the reviews at. And Patty says, "Got it. Thank you so much, Kyrie. You rock." He does rock. Jonathan, what's good, Jonathan? Unlimited says, "It's clear JG doesn't want to play the character anymore. This is a paycheck for him. He's so worried, but his heart isn't in soaps and it hasn't been for years." What makes you think so, Unlimited? Person, your take. Hmm. Yeah, she only gonna pay that dude $100 for the whole event. Listen, I disagree a lot with that's right, Jonathan, he's out. Um I disagree with certain things with Jocelyn, but when she was like, "Yo, it was being a damn cheapskate at this $100 for the whole event," you got money. Don't do him like that. And so, what'd you think about Leo and Marlena scene? I liked it. And I like the depth that they're giving Leo. I like the depth that they're giving Leo. Leo has been surprisingly a really good character. He comes across as funny. He comes across as somebody who has heart, who can be mean, but also be sensitive and vulnerable at times. So I've I've actually really been enjoying the Leo characters. I didn't like their scene together. Yeah, Jonathan. And to be fair, you did predict it. I predicted it, but that's good. You should be, Patty. As says everything he said and done since during his last time. His first return, he left to play in movies. He started in Tucker Everlasting. The movie is considered a miss, not a bomb. It's actually funny, Susan. I got to sit there and message somebody. I used to like that show, Nashville. I used to actually like that show, Nashville, Susan. Okay, yeah, no, I remember him in Nashville. Harry says, "Well, he's lucky. I would only pay him $50. That boy don't get that much. That boy don't got that much talent." Oh, damn. Hey, I don't think you're doing him like that, Kyrie. Tommy says Devon is something else. Devon is too self righteous and thinks with his emotions. How did he think with his emotions in this episode? Genesis, do you think Jace will bring back the original Molly? I think they want to. Jenna, I think they want to. I just think it would be bad PR. How you do tonight, Amber? I think they want to, but I think it would just be bad PR because it's not like the other chick is doing a bad job, but it's like the people that have been watching the show watch her grow up. That's not something that you're gonna forget, regardless how much of an asinine decision that she made. Carrie says now will be the perfect time for Avery to tell Sunny what his met actually because Avery. Ooh. Now, Kyrie, I'm just not just saying that she's been irresponsible for a long time with that, having Avery around somebody who is like, you know, we don't know which version of Sunny we're going to get today. All right, let's check on these likes. Hmm, I guess so, unlimited. Like I said, I'm just happy that he's coming back. Hmm. Let's see. Actually, I have to sit down and listen to all the noise. Okay, so we got 25 likes. We got 43 people in the chat. So if you are enjoying the stream, make sure that you do hit the like button because it really does actually help. Big Nate was good. Exactly. Hit that like button, hit the share button because that also helps. So hit the like button for now. We got 44 people and we got 26 likes. Um, how were the soaps today? All right. They were okay. Darius, let me ask you a question. Um, how has it been reviewing the soaps daily? How has it been reviewing the show daily? And Miss Garnina. How you doing tonight, Miss Garnita? And thank Kyrie's, yes. Thank Kyrie's for the gifted membership. Yeah, Kyrie's is awesome. Yeah, so thank Kyrie's. Miss Garnina. I think that's how you pronounce the name, Garnina. Yes, Garnina. You're gonna have a lot of fun in my members live streams. So definitely come through for those as well. You can just say Valley. Okay. Oh, Gardena. Thank you, Patty. You can just say Valley. Okay. Valerie or Gardena. Awesome, Valerie, because we have two Valeries. Unless you changed your profile to that, we have two Valeries. It's actually really funny. It says Miss Gardena, and then it actually has a flower there. Oh, that is hilarious. Curses struggled like that I used to CapCut took me so long to even try to edit that in the beginning of the video alarm went off. Ended up having to use YouTube editor. That's why I looked at. I was like, wait, hold on. I looked at the profile picture and I was like, that's Valerie. Oh, Gardenia. Oh, Gardenia. Thank you, Jonathan. Autumn. I'm glad Finn agreed to get rehab. He doesn't have. Well, of course, he doesn't have a choice. Autumn. When you have a child, you really have to step your shit up. Thank you. And it's funny too because he was like, "Oh, you could just call me Valerie," and it was like it's funny too because we actually have somebody else named Valerie, and then I looked at the picture and I was like, "Oh shit, that is Valerie." Lemon says, "I think they're working to see if the OG Lulu will return as well." Hmm. Harry says, "But I'm actually having fun doing reviews when I actually record the video, though will have to be around different times." No, I just here's my thing, Carries. It could be a lot when you're doing reviews daily because Carries the most challenging part I find about doing reviews daily if the episode is really boring. Gorgeous Queen, Gorgeous Queen Jess is in the chat. What's good, love? Hope you're well. Lashanta says, Albert, I want to know, is Ava a good mom leaving Avery with Sunny? And yes, and it's funny, Lashanta, too, because even Kyrie's was like, will she tell the truth about his meds? Since her little girl is going to be around Sunny, who is not on his meds. Um, because I always thought that that was like really sus. Um, for her to know that Sunny is off his meds and still having him around, still having him around his little girl. Autumn says, Albert, the entitlement from Hope was hilarious. Her and the boohoo, the full crocodile cheer she was giving in the office. I was like, I wasn't buying it. I'm glad told Hope his situation was toxic. Yes. Oh, Autumn, I don't know if you saw my review. Yes, I did. I did, Jess. Um, I did a little short video on it. Jess, how do you feel about Ben leaving? How do you feel about Ben leaving, Jess? That's right, Unlimited. He's out. Tommy says, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty swell. I'm doing swell. I had to walk today. So besides me feeling like I had to kind of rush some shit, I was actually doing good. Just as the one time I was interested in I was interested in the storyline and they let him go. Well, yeah, and that's the thing, Jess. I was like, you're actually giving him good material when he's leaving. Lashanta says, Albert, she told Trina today, Sunny, irrational, and violent. Yeah, I have my issues. Well, first of all, Lashanta, what I will sit there and say is Trina was looking good. Trina was looking good. I was like, yo, listen, I don't know what they're doing in that wardrobe department, but Trina looking pretty damn good. Hmm. Yes, Jess. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Lemon. I was like, I was like, Trina, she's looking good. I'm not gonna lie, Lemon. They had her in the goddamn background when Josh and Jill was talking. Um, yes, exactly. Yes, I mean you know, you know. I had her in the back, and I was like, "Yo, can you?" I was like, "Could they bring her a little bit more forward when Jill and Josh was talking?" As says, I'm looking forward to seeing Lucky and Liz reunite and her reaction to Lucky's so many questions because we don't get any mention of him from Liz. We do, but it's not. It's every once in a blue moon. And Jess says, I don't care about Lucky returning. I was hoping it would have been Morgan. Oh, Jess, he is returning. Jess, Morgan's returning. He's returning for a debt. I did a short on that video. I don't know if you saw it, Jess, but I did a short on Morgan returning. Johnson says if Ava just told the truth sooner about Sonny, then she would have been on Sonny's good side because she would have saved Sonny at that point. Very true. Jess says, oh, okay, so both of them. Yes, Jess, but only, here's the thing though. Morgan is only returning for a debt. He's only returning for one episode. He's only returning for one episode. So, hey, just let's not be too happy that he's returning. He's only returning for one day. Okay. All right, Jess. I sit there and say this irrational shit now. I'm still sober. Oh, okay. That might have been a little bit too much. All right, Jess. I love you, but if I get a hangover, I'm gonna blame it on you. Damon, I agree. Trina was very pretty. Yeah, she was, and Trina was looking kind of fine. Not gonna lie, Trina was looking kind of fine. Yes, Jess. I just want to put that out now. Justin says Brian will be only for one episode, but best case scenario is that Morgan could be recast soon thereafter. Jonathan, I love your optimism. Jess says, boo, boo to what? What are we born to? What are we born to? To what I said or Morgan's return? Eddie says Elizabeth's going to be pissed off. Smirky is a clown. I'm hoping he is kind and careful with Aiden about this. Oh, well, yeah. I would think so. Oh, Jess says you blaming me for drinking. But Jess, I just said that I love you. You didn't even focus on that part though. How'd you miss that part? I love the tomato style. That's awesome. Weird? Batty says Josh and Dex are weird. Interesting thing that you focus on, Jess. But they're weird. Okay. They're not the type of noodles that I want to Jess. Um, yeah, I wanted the bigger ones, but they didn't have them. So I was kind of stuck with that shit. Darby says, yep, I was blaming you for his hangover. Well, here's the thing, Darby. I didn't actually have a hangover yesterday. So I was like, all right, cool. I don't get the, just says what flavor? Sweet chili flavor. Yeah, chili flavor. I just missed my other one. I missed a bigger one. What? Carrie says Elizabeth is indeed a much better person than Nina Reeves. Now, Unlimited said because they were dating, I didn't realize that Brian and the actress who played Britt ended on such bad terms. Love does some crazy things to people, man. Love does some crazy shit to people. I mean, Justice not terrible, but it's like it's not what I wanted. Perry says, "Where's Duan?" Well, if he's not here tonight, then he'll be in your stream. Big Samuel was good. What do you think of Jonathan Jackson coming back as Lucky Spencer? Well, Jess, I guess they're Brooklyn and Chase are gonna sit there and raise Violet. Oof, they're engaged. God damn. You know what? They didn't work together, so I'm okay with it. Yep, that's that. There we go, Janet. Great minds. State of mind. Curry says, I don't think Duan's gonna let us or hear the end of about the character whose name begins with a G. Name begins with a G. Well, Curry, I figure he'll be in your stream now. He is your jester, after all. Ooh, Johnson says, how do you think that Lucky would feel about his Uncle Cyrus? Hmm. Well, whenever we sit and get Cyrus back, I guess that'd be a good question. Simmer says, as long as he's there to shake on some shit, I'm cool with it. But if he's there to cry every day, he's there to cry every day. Hmm. Rescue Ethan. Johnson says, maybe Lucky will be the one who brings Spencer home. Ooh, that's wishful thinking right there. Okay. I said, did you think Gio was needed today? And no, no, Ed. Gio is shoved into these scenes because I don't know why. Okay, I kind of have some reasons. I kind of have some reasons why he's shoved in, but it's going to take me a couple more drinks to sit there and say it out loud. Carrie says, "Oh man, now I have to say his name. Devon won't let us hear the end of." Great. Oh yes, Carrie. He was not this. I think he actually said that shit in my live stream. He said that dumb shit in my live stream, and I was like, "There you go, Sammy." And I agree with that. One said that's what I thought as well. Yeah. Um, but Kyrie, and it was actually funny too because he kept saying in my stream, I was like, Kyrie's just not going to be happy with that. I'm not going to be happy with that. I was already sitting there tearing hope a new one today. Darby says whenever Sonny is on his meds or not, it doesn't take much to get Sonny's bad side. Eventually, Abel was going to get that door slammed in the face. That's true. That's the thing, Bobby. I don't have a problem with him. You know, I just don't think that he's always needed it in these scenes. It's like they shove him. And unlimited. I actually saw a picture of Nicholas Chavez and him. Yeah, I saw them actually in a picture together. I don't know what that means, but I saw them in a picture together. Ed says, do you think he's getting more airtime than Wyatt? Uh, yeah, Ed, I do. I do think that he's getting more. But to be fair, Ed, let's be honest. Mariah and Tess get such shitty treatment on that show. And they actually have a good fan base called the Tarias Tigers. Darby says, then why don't you keep buying them? Why don't I keep buying what? Why don't I keep buying what? I missed that part. But yeah, they they get shitted on by the show, and it's kind of insulting to just the fans, the Riot Tigers, um, the LGBT community. Pick one. Kyrie says, I really hope they don't bring her back on the show. How she, Kyrie, the only reason why I would want to sit there and have them bring her on the show so I can tear her a new one. Kyrie. The only reason I actually would want her on the show is so that I can sit there and tear her a new one. Because I'm actually having a lot of fun dragging Hope. Oh yeah, Jess. If I get a hangover, I'm definitely blaming you for that. Darby says you're saying if you had a hangover the next day, Papa said he was going to blame Jess Love for it. Yeah, Darby, I did, and I will. Oh, so why do I keep buying alcohol? Because I like the taste of alcohol, Darby. That doesn't mean I'm not going to sit there and blame Jess for it. Kind of question. Jess says that's crazy. What's crazy? Carrie says I made it clear from day one she had to go. Oh, don't worry, Carrie. I don't want her back. I'm just saying that if she comes back, I'm going to sit there and tear her a new one. And Jess, what's crazy? Johnson says the Xana Cyrus scene today was boring. Sorry, Xana fans, just my opinion. Jonathan, first of all, don't apologize for your opinion. Okay? I don't generally apologize for my opinion, so I'm not gonna have you apologize for your simple opinion. Second of all, this shit was boring and Sarah's annoying with this whole I gotta get Xander's mom to the wedding, like why? Do you just not care about his feelings? Like have a good night, Patty. It was great to see you. And thank you again, Carice. Yes, Carice is awesome. Exactly, Jonathan. We don't apologize for our opinions unless they're racist or homophobic or you know um rude to somebody else. You know that, Jonathan. You know, Jonathan. I've said much worse. I'm sorry, Jess. I'm pretty sure I asked you a question. It was good, Justin. I heard that Poppy is going to be exposed by the time. Good. Oh, Justin said that's crazy, but I didn't get what was crazy. And yes, Unlimited, shout out to Kyrie's effing Clark. Samuel says it's Wednesday. Every day isn't going to be action packed. Oh, Samuel. I don't know how I feel about that. On some level, you're right. But on another level, I just can't let that shit go as an excuse. I mean, yeah, Samuel. It's not always going to be action packed, but I don't expect it to be boring either. You know, sat there and literally wasted a goddamn hour of my time. I'm not just going to sit there and forgive that. And Janice says, Kyrie, you're such a rock star. Yes, he is a goddamn rock star. Now, Ed says it's crazy because the actress that plays Mariah grew up in YNR and they bring her back and don't use her. I haven't watched it in years. What was the point in making her gay and not use her? And the point of making her gay was for the network to sit there and say that they support the LGBT community. That was the point of making her gay. I mean, and that's the thing, Ed. I'm being dead ass serious. Like, I'm not. Yes, I had a couple of drinks, but that was the point. And deep down inside, I think you know that too. Lashanta said, "Oh, Justin said Bill is going to go back to Katie. It will happen. Yeah, that's unfortunate." Lashanta said, "Tom said he comes in peace. Why is he there?" Yeah, it didn't. They did. I like I said, I love a good tease, but you know, didn't go anywhere. Tanya, Trina, Jocelyn, and Jerry were wasted into his episode in the hospital. In some ways, yes, but at least Jocelyn doesn't want anything bad to happen to Sunny. Yeah, she doesn't rock with Sunny. I respect him, but she doesn't want anything bad to happen to her mother. And she didn't sit there and shit talk Sunny out of respect for Gio. Darby says those noodles. Yeah, these goddamn noodles. But there's something I have rotisserie chicken that I'm gonna eat later on. But these aren't the noodles that I wanted. It was just the noodles that was there. Unfortunately. Yes, Ed. They're just there to check off the box. They're just there to sit there and check off the box. That's the thing, Ed. And it's insulting. And I've done a video on my members only channel, members only section, which you should be a member, about how they waste Mariah and Tess, and they're not really needed. Jay Blue says I still can't believe that Joe will have an issue with Ava. Well, I mean, yeah, if I was only getting $100 for a day, I could have worked at the Metro Corps and probably made more money. Lemon says I honestly think some people don't know how to watch soaps. I also think the writers are struggling. What do you mean that some people don't know how to watch soaps? Is there a certain way you need to be watching soaps? Yeah, Jonathan, I'm gonna sit there. Well, Jonathan, first of all, do you want to know? Do you want to know when Gabby's coming on? Do you want to know? Mass, I don't want to spoil it for you if you don't want to know. What do you mean that people don't know how to watch a soap? What qualifications do I need to know how to watch a soap? I'll tell you right now. I In a minute, of course, I open up my Instagram. I pretty much just see porn. So, um, Thursday, Jonathan, Thursday. So yeah, Thursday we're gonna sit down and see the new Gabby Hernandez. Of course, I just had to sit there and get your consent done. I'm gonna set the volume of soap changes how you perceive the soap versus traditional. I don't get it. You got to talk to me like I'm seven, since I'm a little tipsy. What does that mean? I don't get that. Well, I hope so. I hope so, Jonathan. I'm gonna say TV that may have 26 episodes. HBO only has 8 to 12. Sure. I don't get the comment though. As sometimes you gotta sit there and say, "Where's the actor and what is he doing? What is the actor doing?" That's the question you need to ask. Let's change this music up a little bit. People says I hit send before I completed what I was going to write. I still believe Gio will have an issue with Ava. It has to do with his past. He should have an issue with that damn paycheck he's going to get. Dude can sit there and literally be making more money in the Metro Court. How are you sitting up there rocking with them for? What are you doing? Johnson says Melinda will probably be on tomorrow as well. Good. I mean, Melinda pisses me off sometimes, but she does look pretty hot. So, Simon says, I think what woman is saying is that because soaps come on every day, they will have to fill spaces and gaps of time, and because they are structured off of yearly arcs rather than session. Okay, and I notice that the volume is different on soaps. Come on, 5 days. GH, for example, is barely a month ahead of production. At most, it's a month and a half. Days is 6 months at least. It means the volume as its amount, not sound. Okay. So, because of that, the Santa says I will what Brady's gonna tell Alex about Teresa. What do you mean? Like he's not gonna sit there and say, "Hey, listen, I don't want you to marry Teresa because I have feelings for her." So I don't think he's gonna sit there and say that. He's not gonna sit there and say, "Hey, before you came in, I had this sex dream about her." So no, I don't know. He's not gonna tell the truth. Okay, so basically, okay, so what your Smith is saying, Valerie says I agree about the Trina Singh thing. It's just like and I stand by that 100% correct. I stand by that 100%. I'm like, you barely had Trina say anything when she was with Sonny, and she said even less with Ava. She knew that Ava probably shouldn't have sat there and been like, "Hey, listen, you shouldn't be going to war." It's like they give Trina so little voice. Okay, so thank you, Sammy, and thank you, Unlimited. What you're basically saying is that we should account and show a bit of slack when they have filler episodes. I get that. Yeah, and that's the thing. Actually, Valerie, there was a point where where you had Gio and Josh and Trina, and she was in the back. She was all the way in the back, and I was like, first of all, I was like, yo, you need to bring her up in front because she's looking pretty hot. But also, why is she in the back? She barely said anything. It was mostly like Josh and Trina was sitting there talking. It was mostly like Josh and Gio was talking, and Trina said very little. It's like you had to sit there and ask Trina, do you think that Ava is actually capable of hurting my Uncle Sonny? And then she moved up and like, why the fuck is she only in the back for? I'm gonna get to your question. And that's the thing, Sammy. I remember you sitting there saying that before. I remember you saying that before. Um, I just can't do it though, Sammy. I can't sit. Here's the thing. I get what you're Smith is saying. I get what your Smith is saying. Let me tell you something, Unlimited. Logically, I get what you're saying. Emotionally, I can't sit there and do filler episodes. It gets me pissed off, and it makes me feel like I sat there for an entire goddamn hour and you did nothing but literally waste my goddamn time with an episode that wasn't really that great. So I get what you're saying. Darby says Brady is going to try to warn Alex about Teresa's greedy nature, and true to form, Alex won't listen to him. Thinking, yes, that's actually very true, Darby. And the sad thing is, Darby, he's right. Brady is going to be right. That's the sad thing. Brady is going to be right. So no, I agree with that, Darby. And I get what your Smith is saying. No. I get what you're saying, Lemon. I respect your opinion and yours too, Samuel. Lashanta says about her Audrey and Sally. I heard Audrey and Sally hearing about Chelsea and Adam. I mean hearing. I'm not getting the actual sentence. Well, Unlimited. I heard that they're still doing sweeps, but I here's the thing. Like I said, I get what you and Samuel are saying. Slow pace and everything like that. But I just see Unlimited. I kind of disagree on a large level. Eagle Fang was good. I wonder how Violet behavior changes over time. She lost her mom, grandpa, and now her brother. Jason BLQZ were not fully committed. Better be, or that girl will suffer. Yes, I agree with that, Eagle Fang. I agree with that. Oh, trying to make her jealous. You think that Audra and Sally are going to try to make think that Audra Audra's in Sally's ear trying to make her jealous about Adam? Probably not on purpose though. I would sit there and say she probably is not doing it on purpose, Michelle. Lemon says soaps are going to always have fillers. There will be an episode that obligation to make sure that the writers. No, here's the thing, Lemon. I get that. No, I get that. Like logically, I was good. Was good, Deluxe. Here's the thing, Lemon. I get what your Smith is saying. Samuel says, have you ever watched documentaries of soaps and watch writers talk about the show they're writing? I would say go watch Agnes Nixon and Will J. interview. You know, I get what you're saying, and on a lot of levels, I'm not simply saying you're wrong. But here's what I would sit there and say towards that. While you and Unlimited may be right in a lot of ways, emotionally it doesn't change anything, right? Because even DC will sit there and look at an episode and be like, my friends are watching this for the first time. You didn't capture it, right? I feel like these soaps need to write episodes like it's their last season. They need to write these episodes like it's their last season, okay? Because in a lot of ways, people get bored very easily. And I get that Charles Smith is saying you're not watching soap operas correctly, but while it may not seem like it's correctly in a modern era. Listen, at the end of the day, if you're not entertaining me, there's so many other shows and things of that nature. I could be watching anything else. I'm choosing to sit there and watch your show. You better find a way to sit there and entertain me. Otherwise, I'm going to watch something else. Okay? You know how it works for the networks. Even James once sat there and said that the networks don't give a shit about your soap operas. Timmy says watching a show that just absolutely boring versus watching a scene of a couple that is boring are two different things. No, but I so do you mind if I come on tonight? Absolutely, Samuel. Absolutely. I'm not ignoring anyone, I promise. My girl, listen, I was just sitting there talking about you. I was just talking about you, love. I sent the link. I was just talking about you earlier, too. I was like, it was my girl's birthday, Alyssa's birthday yesterday. So I hope you had a good day. Yeah, Samuel, whenever you want to come through. I get it. Let me just say my point is the payoff isn't the same. It's because of the writing, which is limited by the budget. It's a vicious cycle of ratings versus budget versus uh yeah, give me 1 second. I got Samuel on right now.
Okay.
Big Samuel was good.
Can you? Oh, I got that light on. Hold on. Echo. Turn off bedroom fan light. Okay. Okay. So I'm being a fat ass and I'm eating brownie and ice cream. So
Uh I miss ice cream so much.
so I don't do I have anything on my beard? First of all, let me just say I have a barber. I am actually gonna go, but I'm not going this week because I'm going to a concert next week. So I just figured I'll just save the barber time and just cut my hair, get my hair cut next week.
Don't
But
get the
anyway,
signal, my friend.
so here's the thing. Nobody's trying to change your mind, Albert. Nobody's trying to change your feelings. I just want people to understand that sometimes you have to endure a boring episode or a boring scene because it's a setup for something else. It's not to just make you just sit there and want to pull your eyeballs out. We also have to recognize that um what is his name? Ron Caravati just got back. These scenes are literally this is him trying to break away from what the scab writers did and trying to set up trying to get back to his writing. You can see like the show kind of shifting back to what it used to be when Ron was writing the show before the whole scab writer thing happen. And I'm not trying to make anybody change their mind or trying to make anybody like Sarah and Xander. I think what they're trying to do with Sarah and Xander is kind of make them the couple of the show, because every show has like a foundational couple. And Maggie can't be that anymore because Victor is dead. So they have to reposition who's going to be the new Kyriakis, who's going to be the wife of this person, who's going to be the family, the patriarch, the matriarch, because the Hortons, and I think they're also trying to find a way to get the Hortons grounded too, because Sarah is a Horton. So, and I think Sarah is good to be in that whole matriarch, patriarch, that matriarch role along with Xander, because that's what I kept saying back when she was just arguing with him all the time and like, why don't you do this and why can't you be a good person, blah blah blah. That was when they made Sarah be like, okay, I'm gonna ride with you no matter what you do. That was the first step to putting that couple on foundation. You see, they're not going through like all that same bullshit that they went through. Like, they kept just going through bullshit after bullshit. And I think the whole thing with his mother, she's going to be the one to expose that Xander is actually Victor's son. That's the whole reason why we saw Teresa today kind of like, oh, maybe she don't need to come back. Maybe she doesn't need to come and cause trouble, because she don't want nobody to know that Vic, what's his name, Xander is Victor's son, not Alex.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not trying to make you change your mind.
No. Trust me, I get. Listen, I always respect your opinion. Even if I disagree on something, I respect it. So, don't sit there and think I was coming at you hard or anything like that. It was just the wine talking.
No, I didn't think that. I just, you can't say everything in those little characters in the box.
No, I get it. It's one of the things that's more just like, listen, whenever I sit there and talk to anyone, see, now you're going to make me go get some damn ice cream later on.
We'll get you some ice cream then.
No, but I always sit there and I even if I disagree with somebody, I always sit there and take their stuff to heart. Like, okay, like, because I get it. I try to look at it this way. I try to give a certain level of grace, because it's like a soap can't be 100% every day. I can't be 100% every day. My videos can't be 100% every day. So part of me does look at it and be like, I'm judging the soap opera really hard for not being super great. How the hell do I know if my video was really great that day? But then the other part of me is just like, blah, 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 blah. I don't like this episode. It was boring. But I understood what Unlimited was saying. And I think what you was, I think it was either you or Unlimited that was like, people don't understand how to watch the soap operas because it's not so much. Was it you or was it Unlimited? Did you say that?
It probably was both of us, because I've always said people who watch soap operas like before streaming was like a thing, we understand how these shows work. Versus now, you can watch a show on Netflix or Hulu in 2 days because they gave you all the shows that week. Or you just wait till the season is over, and then a season of a show doesn't last as long as a soap opera. A soap opera literally comes on every single day of the year, just about, besides holidays that they recognize. But you cannot watch a soap opera assuming that this show is going to move like freaking, it's going to move at a faster pace like How to Get Away with Murder. It's not going to run the same because How to Get Away with Murder and other shows come on once a week. So they have to move fast because they're not coming on every day. So in order for you to come back the following week, they have to make something explosive happen to make you want to watch it again the following week so they're not forgotten about. Whereas a soap opera, you actually don't have to watch a soap opera every day to figure out what's going on. You might can watch the show on a Monday and watch it on a Friday and know exactly what happens because you just want to watch the beginning of the week and the end of the week. And that's how you know what happens on a soap opera. You don't necessarily have to watch the minutia that happens Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
But I will say this. General Hospital people.
There we go.
Turn your headphones up, turn your volume up. Because y'all ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. Carly, this is what I'm talking about. She gets ready. Why couldn't it just have been that she knew that Jason was alive and she was keeping it a secret? And she knew that everything that he was doing was for her, and she just decided not to tell Sam. She decided not to tell any damn body so that she would not go to prison. And now it's coming up like she didn't know and all of this shit. It would have been a better story. Like, it shouldn't have been Spinelli coming in there to tell her about all of this shit that's going on. It should have been the damn police arresting her ass and taking her to jail. I don't understand. Why is it that Carly always has to be in a situation where she's like playing like some kind of hero or heroine? And it's like, this is not who Carly is. Carly is a liar. Carly is a schemer. Carly doesn't do anything that does not benefit her, and she don't give a damn about consequences and who else it messes over. I just write the character as someone who just doesn't give a fuck. Then it would be okay for her to go around being a bitch who just talk crazy to everybody. But no, you want me to give a fuck about her while she's not giving a fuck about nobody else. It's just stupid. It's stupid.
Do you think they should write her like Phyllis? Because, Phyllis has just seemed like she has that exact same energy.
Well, the difference with Phyllis is that she has friends who check her. Like I said before, she has Lauren and Michael that check her, and even Diane and Nikki. Like, Phyllis just don't go around the town. Now, don't get me wrong. Phyllis, she does a lot of bullshit. But the difference with Phyllis is that Phyllis don't get to go and barge into somebody's home or office and tell somebody how she feels and get to walk away. She ain't leaving that motherfucker without a slap or something. She just ain't finna barge up in Victoria's office and think Victoria just gonna take it. I'll never forget that scene when Victoria and Nikki teamed up on Phyllis. And Phyllis was like, oh, everybody's just gonna team up on me. And Victoria and Nikki was just like, I think they said something along the lines of, yes, because for one of you, it's like a million for everybody else. But yeah, Carly, she's definitely similar to Phyllis, but she does not have the same. Although Phyllis, I don't feel like she pays in the right way, she still does pay. Like, Phyllis has gone to prison. People have come back to haunt Phyllis. But Carly needs to just either be a person that just don't care about anybody but herself, or you're going to revamp the character and turn her into a full-blown heroine. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Yes, so we're gonna be sitting there. We're gonna be sitting there talking about this weekend. So yeah, we gotta talk about a lot of that shit this weekend. So yeah, I look forward to it. I'm glad you actually caught up. Yeah.
JD, I was just reading a comment, and JD Blue says, "How is Carly the hero in this current situation?" Because when Spinelli came into the office to tell, he basically told her, "Don't go turn yourself in." And she sat up there talking about, "I'm struggling with my feelings because on one hand, Jason, he did this for me to save me and my family." So they wrote it to make it look like she cared about what Jason was doing for her. But meanwhile, the moment that she's not going to turn herself in, it's also about repaying Jason back for what he's doing for her. It's wrapped up in this whole ball of like, Jason is my hero, and I'm also Jason's hero. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Jason is playing the hero for Carly, while Carly is also playing the hero for Jason.
Okay.
And that is sickening. Because
how's it sickening?
Because if the story was written right, it would have been written it would have been written along the lines where Carly knew that Jason was alive, and she didn't tell nobody. And it could have been this situation where when Sam finally finds out that Carly knew, Carly could go to prison behind all the shit that she did for whatever Jason is trying to keep her safe from. So like it'll be like she's getting like paid for like two things at once. You understand what I'm saying? But instead, she's gonna go after Kate's. What's the dude's name? I don't know. He's
John. Yeah, John Cage.
John. Yeah, he's gonna go after him because she's like, he won't even see me coming, because it's written like she's been done wrong. Ain't nobody do nothing to you, bitch.
I mean, yeah, you did actually break the law, and instead of Jason actually spending time with his kids, he decided to sit there and help out Carly with her issues. It was like, and the thing that annoys me, as much as I like Jason, as much as I like Carly, the thing that annoys me is that Jason's like, well, Carly has to sit there and be there for his kids, and I'm just like, so what about the fathers? What about Sonny? What about Jax? Like, you made it seem like that's the part that just annoyed me. It was like, oh, well, Carly had to be there for his kids, and Drew's like, oh, I got to sit there and go to jail because Carly got to be there for his kids. And I was like, what about Jax?
And this would have been a good way. This is what I'm saying. Carly needs to go to prison, not because I just want to see her in prison. That's not the only reason. But because I like to see characters, even if I don't like them, I like to see characters reflect on their history. Like, Carly needs to sit in prison, and she needs to think about how she treated AJ, how she treated the women that came in and out of Sonny's life, or the women that was in and out of Jason's life. Just how she treats people in general. That would be the story that's never been told on General Hospital, is Carly actually taking a real introspective of herself and not her being able to run away from the things that she has done, or having someone to absolve her. there's something that needs to happen where Carly is like, she's really actually making a life change, a character change for herself. Like, Carly is a flawed character, but it's to the point where it's like, you can't keep going on like this. Like, she has a character flaw. She is so selfish. She's so self-centered. And she doesn't realize like how her manipulations and behaviors have affected other people. And that's the constant thing with Carly, down to her own mama. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Yes, Bobby is dead. But Carly needs to recognize how she came into that woman's life and how she slept with her mom's husband. You want this woman to know that you're her daughter, but here you are sleeping with her husband and flaunting it in her face. And then you ended up getting pregnant and you tried to keep the man who was the father. I don't give a fuck if AJ was an alcoholic. At the end of the day, that's the man you laid down and had a baby by. But because you think Jason is a better man, or you think Sonny is a better man, you want to have them play daddy for you. You don't get to choose who's the baby daddy. And why does Carly always she always knows the secret behind everything, but nobody don't know shit about her. It's just irritating. It's irritating to watch. Yes, AJ was an abusive alcoholic, but Carly was a manipulator, and Carly is an emotional abuser.
I mean, I got that part, and here's the thing. I get what you're saying, because I do understand, like, about, like, I have the same issues with Sam. Talking about, oh, well, Jason's this and Jason's that. It's like you chose to have a baby with Jason. So I get that part, but I guess part of me is just like, well, you're sitting there saying like, well, I don't really care if AJ was an alcoholic. That's still the father. It's like, well, if you know the person is an abusive alcoholic, why would you want that around your kid?
No,
why would you want that around your kid, as opposed to Smith is saying, I'd rather it be Jason's than AJ, because AJ is an abusive drunk. Like, why wouldn't you want to sit there and pick Sonny or Jason?
Well, what I'm saying is, okay, it's okay to have a decent father figure if the men that you were picking were actually decent.
Okay.
Sonny's not decent. Jason's not decent. I'm sorry. Kill people for a living. And then you don't even allow to be a man.
You're breaking up.
I don't know what's happening.
Like, I can hear you, but you're frozen. Oh, okay, there you go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're just frozen now.
Okay. I don't know if it's frozen, but as long as you hear me, now I can see you.
You can't see me? What's going on?
It's okay. I have to see you. Stay blank. As long as you can hear me, that's it.
I thought I was breaking out with you. No, Alyssa, you would not break out with me. I would not allow it. I'll be like Brooke Logan. I would not allow it. You good, Samuel? I think we just lost Samuel. Try to come out and then try to come back in. Voice synthesize. And then break out. I'm just saying, Alyssa, I will not. I will pull a Brooke Logan. I will not allow it. Sorry, listen, I could be a little. Oh, try to come back out and just try to come back in. I'm just trying to match you back. There we go. Sam, are you good? That's so weird. Paulina says, I agree. I like when I agree and disagree with people like Samuel did that for me tonight. Yeah, no, Samuel's the truth. Samuel's the truth. Okay. Patty says, Albert Logan, listen, all I saw was Alyssa said something about breaking out, man. I was not allowing that shit. I'm sorry, Alyssa. Not allowing it. I will pull a Brooke goddamn Logan. God damn it. I don't want to do that.
Can
I can hear you, but you sound like a voice synthesizer.
let me just. I'm just gonna pick up my phone.
All right. You goddamn right, Darby. And what you know, Darby, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, Darby? Why don't you tell me what's wrong with that? Ron says, Albert, but you still have a crush on Akeisha Moore. Oh, Ron. Ron. What am I going to do with you, Ron? Samuel turned into T-Pain. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Sorry, let me I'm on my phone. I don't know,
All
I'm
right, so
having
good.
internet.
But you get now. So.
But anyway, as I was saying, in duality, I do hate Carly, but it doesn't mean I don't want the show to tell a better story for the character. I want Carly to, like, I don't want her to be on 10 all the time. Like, if she has to go into that bag, that's fine when it's called for. But Carly is always on, like, she always has to be the savior of someone. She always has to be the one to put somebody in their place. And it's just a lot. And I just wish that they would write this character kind of the way that Leo on Days is like taking an introspective on why he he does the things that he does. Like he's louder than what he has to be because he's trying to compensate for not being seen as a child, for not being heard and not being valued. So he comes into the place in spaces being loud, being obnoxious, making sure he's always heard and seen because of his past. And that's what I feel like we don't get from Carly. Like, it's okay for Carly to go to have a damn therapy session. Since she loves to take her ass up to General Hospital every fucking day, get your ass up in there and go see a damn therapist. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or even take an introspective of why did I want the bad guy over Drew? Or why can't I allow myself to fall for a guy who's not dangerous? Like, really, like, why didn't I pick Jax over Sonny? Why do I keep falling for Sunny? Why do I keep choosing people that I know are not good for me? But I continuously allow Jason to save me, even to his own detriment.
Hmm.
These are things that I feel like this show just does not. They just take for granted. They just take for granted. They don't write Carly in a way that you can root for her. Like, I don't hate the character of Carly in a sense. Like, okay, she's on the show, that's fine, but write her in a way where I may not like everything she does, but I don't completely hate the character. That's kind of how I feel about Phyllis. Like, I don't like everything Phyllis does, but I don't completely hate the character. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't I don't completely hate the characters on YNR. Like, I feel like on General Hospital, they write their characters so freaking black and white till it's hard to distinguish. Like you gotta draw a hard line with General Hospital. Like, either you like Sunny or you don't. Either you like Elizabeth or you don't. Either you like Carly or you don't. Either you like Jason or you don't. Like, I shouldn't feel that way about them. I should feel kind of stuck in between.
Okay, so compare that with General Hospital. I mean, compare that with Young and Restless.
So I don't like everything that Nikki does, but Nikki has moments where you understand why she chooses the way that she chooses. Like, Nikki, like for instance, Diane framed Nikki for her false murder, but Nikki and Diane are not going at it 24 hours of the day. And I like both of those characters for different reasons. Like, Nikki and Diane are really the same type of people because they both kind of came from, like, trying to fight their way through things and trying to get a spot in whether it's a man's life or just a spot when it comes to money. They don't have this whole the YNR characters don't have this I don't know, it's like a wall that I feel like General Hospital puts up within the writing. Like, it divides their fans in how they look at the show and how they see the characters. Whereas Young and the Restless, you can see all sides. Like, Nikki ain't always right. Like, the way Nikki goes after like back in the day, Nikki would just go after Sharon. And at first, it did seem like Sharon could have been like a gold digger. But after Sharon and Nick got married and had children, it's like, okay, Nikki, enough is enough. Get up off this girl. And it got to a point where even Victor was like, leave Sharon alone. That's Nick's wife. You just gonna have to accept her. And Catherine told her, you don't have to hate Sharon. Why not try to be more of a friend to her or a mother figure to her so that you're just not always in your life competing for a spot with your son. Those are the things that don't happen with Carly, with a lot of the characters on GH. GH is a good show. It is. Like, if I take the show overall, it is a good show. But the characters, what did he say? No, 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 I don't. No. But and I feel like the character should be written in gray. Days of Our Lives, Days of Our Lives has a good way in how, like, if the character is bad, he just bad. Like, even if he has good moments, they don't just completely, like, they even made Stefano, who was a bad character, reflect on his actions. Did he Now he might in the end don't give a damn about what he did, but there would be moments where I think when Lexi went blind, he was wondering, like, did I cause my daughter to go blind? Did I mess up my daughter's life because of my shenanigans? Like, Carly don't be sitting around like it's my fault Morgan got shot. Nah, she don't do that. She just like, God damn, my son got shot. Oh well, got to go to work. Like, then she go around and then she blame everybody else and holler and yell at every damn body else instead of sitting at home and actually, like, when Carly get mad or when she's crying about things, what's the go to? What do you know what happens when Carly gets mad or when she's like emotional about shit?
She goes
What
to
does she do?
Jason.
Well, before she does all of that.
I think she usually just confronts people.
Exactly. She makes everybody else the blame. She does not go into like a place where she needs to lock herself up in a room and just reflect on her fucking life.
Yeah, but I mean, in all fairness, though, when you get upset with somebody or you get upset with that person, most people don't sit there and just, I'm going to reflect on my stuff before I do that. They're just going to sit there and act emotionally. Um, Ron has another question for you.
Jerry Prentice, who is Jerry?
Exactly. Enough said.
I'm sorry. But yeah, okay, I'm not saying that she can't react, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's never a moment after the reaction or before the reaction that she like reflects on like how did she get here. It's always, and then when somebody is talking with her and helping her reflect on her life and the choices that she's made, they tend to skirt around the fact that maybe it is you. Maybe you didn't choose the best man to be having children with. Maybe this is karma. They don't try to make her, even Bobby, I don't care what nobody say. Yes, Bobby ultimately ended up embracing Carly because Bobby is a better person than Carly, in my opinion. But Bobby, I think Bobby literally just went around with regret of not knowing that that was her daughter. So she just kind of let Carly just act a fool all the time and just was a safe haven for her. Carly needs she needs somebody that can just get her right. That's kind of why I like um Tracy and, oh my god, what's the lady name? The black lady from Fresh Prince who played
Oh,
Will's
Stella.
mama.
Stella.
Stella. This is why, and I don't care what nobody say. I remember years ago saying Tracy need a black homegirl because that's the only one who can deal with her. Cause Stella ain't scared of Tracy. Stella ask her and tell her exactly what she feels and what she thinks about Tracy. Like, the moment Tracy and Stella met, Stella was like, "Don't come over here with all of that. You don't get to run shit over here. But we can be friends." because that's all it's ever gonna be, or you get nothing. And that's what I like about. That's what Carly needs. Carly needs either a homegirl who is not going to skirt around her feelings. Give it to her straight.
Like Lauren Finmore is with Phyllis.
Um, no. Well, I mean, yeah, but I meant more like the dynamic that Sharon and Drusilla had on Young and the Restless. Drusilla didn't, she didn't skate around Sharon's feelings, although Sharon is not, she's nothing like Carly, but she gave it to her straight. And that's what Carly needs. Honestly, I was like, they really should make um Carly and what is the police lady name? TJ's
On
mom.
Jordan.
Jordan. They really should make Carly and Jordan friends. Because but they ain't gonna do that because Jordan is a cop. But Jordan wouldn't play with Carly the way them other girls be playing with Carly. They just wrote Sam back into a place where she telling her like it is. Cause for a long time,
They were
Sam was
besties.
they were besties, and I'm just like, why is this happening? And they just kind of let Elizabeth and Carly just play nice whenever they saw each other. They never really not like they used to do. And that's why Robin is needed back on that show. Robin will get Carly together. There just ain't nobody on the show to get Carly right. Yes, the Carly hate is strong tonight. I ain't never sat up here and said I love Carly. But I don't hate Carly in the sense of what y'all think. Like, I do not like the character, but I'm mostly talking about the writing of how they write that character. I'm not talking about the character herself. I'm talking about they're not writing this character where she's rootable. Like there's nothing to root for Carly.
Oh, shit.
Olivia don't be giving Carly the business though.
Tell Sammy about the fan event and incident regarding Cynthia Watros.
Oh, like did somebody try to like hurt her or something like that?
They pretty much booed her when she came, when she came out to sit there and greet people, whatever. A bunch of people didn't like Nina, so they decided to boo her as though, that was just okay.
Well, this is that, and this goes back to the writing, and this is what I'm saying. General Hospital write the characters where people have to have a hard line about the characters, and that's what I'm saying. Like they write it to where Carly is viewed as the good one, and writing Nina viewed as the bad one, when Carly is really no better than Nina.
Well, just to get people to understand, like Samuel isn't, the reason why I highlighted that comment and have you said something is because Samuel doesn't hate the Carly character. Like he's not hating on the Carly character. He doesn't like the writing for the character. It's not the same thing as Smith is saying, what, I'm just going to sit there and hate on this character every single day because I just don't like this, I don't like that. No, it comes down to the structure of the character.
Right.
It's not so much, and that's the thing. I feel like when people sit there and say hating, they take that word, it's an overused word to sit there and try to explain something but you don't like what that person's saying. And it's not to sit there and say Sammy doesn't, he's not just hating on the character. There's certain things about the character that he doesn't like. It's called, constructive criticism. there's a difference between that and just me just blindly saying, "Oh, I don't like Nina because of this. I don't like Nina because of that."
And,
It's a little bit different. There's a lot of nuance to what he's saying.
and
That's
let
what
me
I'm.
let me say this. Okay, so I'm not speaking about Carly as if I just started watching this show 2 years ago. I knew about Carly even when I wasn't watching General Hospital every day. Like back in '97, I knew about Carly Corinthos or Carly. What was her name before she married? I don't know, but whatever.
Spencer,
What was it?
Spencer, I
Vincent
think. Yeah, Spencer.
Spencer?
Yeah.
I thought it was Carly Vincent, like when she first came on. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So when I was watching heavy CBS soaps, I knew about Carly. I knew about Erica Kane. I knew about Vicky Lord. Like I was not like I probably didn't know every character on the show, but I knew about them like the main ones, if that makes sense. So I'm only talking about the character from a standpoint of like how they wrote her from '97 to now. And it's always been that Carly has skated on this show. Like this, Carly is out on her skates and doing all kind of tricks and maneuvers and shit through this show. And it just be blowing my mind because I'm like, how did we get here? Because how I remember the character is how she came in. I'm not saying she can't change. I'm just saying, so y'all, what y'all did was y'all allowed her to still be the same person that she's always been, but everybody just got to accept it. That's what you, so instead of changing Carly, what you did was you wrote everybody else to be okay with Carly's behavior, to acquiesce to Carly. And I'll give you a prime example of a character that I actually used to hate on a show that I watched. When I was growing up, I hated Jill. I did not like Jill and how she treated Catherine. But then once I went back and watched the actual scenes of how Jill and Catherine became enemies or frenemies or however you want to call it on whatever day they was fighting or not fighting with each other, um, I understood why Jill treated Catherine the way that she did. And then once I realized that, it alleviated some of that hate that I had for the character because I saw, oh, Catherine was not nice to Jill. Catherine treated Jill like shit. Jill came from nothing. Jill was a poor girl who was hoping to be around the rich people, and she started out as a hairdresser, a cosmetologist, and that's how her and Catherine met. So once I realized what that story was, it was more than just about, oh, she slept with Mrs. Chancellor's husband. It was also about how this woman basically treated Jill like she was the help, like she was the poor. She didn't treat Jill with any kind of grace or empathy or sympathy.
Didn't Jill wind up doing that with Mamie or Mamie?
Oh yeah, yeah, and I hated Jill when she did that too. But that's what I'm saying. I don't 100% hate Jill. I don't 100% hate these characters in the way that Carly is just like sometimes she's just very she can just be very unlikable. And it's more often than not. So like I don't see like a gray area with Carly. Now I
Okay.
can see the gray. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say no. That's fair. That's fair. It's funny too because we were sitting there talking about Carly, whatever, and somebody was like, "Oh, the hate towards Carly is real tonight, or whatever," and it was like, it's not really hate. That's just because part of me was going to sit there and be like, "Well, listen, Chad. This is the opinions of Samuel and Samuel alone. But I sat there and I was like, that's not hate. That's just constructive criticism. Like there's a difference, and I think that sometimes when people like you say something about a character that you may not like, and it's more constructive criticism, people sit there and think that they are going into an echo chamber. So it's like if you're not saying
Yeah.
something that other people agree with, then you're a hater. You're hating on this person and da 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 da. And it's not that. I like Carly, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, you're hating, and I don't like what you're sitting there saying. Um, I do want to ask you a question, but I don't know if this is an appropriate question. I want to sit there and put you on the spot. I kind of got to ask you this question though, because I remember I was sitting there saying in the comment section, I was just like, ooh, that's kind of bad. So
What?
I want to
This
ask you this question. You said, almost feel like I need another drink. You said that I know Carly just sat there and lost her mom, but I don't feel bad for her.
No, I did not feel bad for her because the thing about it is that Carly is not a character that I feel bad for. Like when anything bad happens to Carly, it's kind of like okay. Like now the am I sad that the actual actress Bobby Jackie Zeman is gone? Yes, but the character as it pertains to Carly, no. Carly Carly needs to fend for herself and needs to stop. Like they don't need to be no more of this. Like everybody's on Carly's side. I get it. It's her mother, but she also slept with her mother's man. She also was cussing out her mama every chance she got. She also played in that lady's face instead of telling her straight up that I'm your daughter, because she already knew that she was her daughter before Bobby knew. Instead of just doing that, she was playing in this woman's face, getting close to this woman just so that she could stab her in the back.
So
So
you're,
no,
you're so you're thinking more of the history of everything that she's done
right.
to Bobby. I guess because like I just sat there and I looked at it, I was like, Jesus Christ, that's kind of dark. And I feel like I'm sitting there saying that because Jay Blue is like, really? Because no offense, and granted, listen, this is your opinion, and we can agree to disagree. Why are we just kind of sitting there looking at like, God damn, that's kind of heartless. I mean, listen, I may not like a character, and I may not like how the character's built, but there's a certain level of empathy that I just kind of struggle with, where it's like when you sit there and say it, it's like, oh yeah, I don't feel bad that her mom died. It's like,
Well, for one, Carly's not a real person, and
okay.
Bobby Spencer is not a real person. Jackie Zeman is a real person. I am sad that Jackie Zeman is gone. I am not sad that Carly Spencer, the character, lost her mother, because neither one of them were real.
Okay, so it's more of it's a fictional thing, so it doesn't really. Okay, I just
Right. Like I'm not taking away the death of an actual person versus the death of a character.
okay. I
You
was
get
just
what I'm
curious.
saying? Like
No, I,
like
I get it.
the character of Bobby Spencer no longer exists because the person who played her is not really alive.
No, I get that. I do. Um, I want to know your take because like I remember I saw that before and I was like, yo, Sam, you're my guy and everything like that, but I really gotta I really gotta sit there and just kind of ask about that. Now Ron has one more question for you.
Tell something about the late Andrea Evans who was stalked. Oh, I know about Andrea Evans being stalked. Like she had to leave One Life to Live because she was stalked. But she was the best Tina that ever played that character. Whoever came after her, nah. They could not fill those shoes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, what's more alarming about that is that like they broke into the studio to come after her. Like they
Hmm.
literally went into the studio to sit there and try to get her. Like
Yeah, I think she was off of, like, she didn't come back to soaps until, I want to say, was it Passions?
maybe I'm not sure, but
It
I
was
mean,
it
the point
was
is,
it was a
it
long
was
time. It was a
yeah,
long time.
it was crazy. Like I mean, some of these people really lose their goddamn minds. And I think that's what he was attempting to sit there and saying. Um, but
Can
yeah,
I address can I address duality? Duality says, why am I so invested in a character that I hate? So
yeah, sure.
I'm not invested in the character. I'm invested in the writing. You guys have to understand that the writing is what makes you feel a way about a character. Like, it's not like, I'm not looking at Laura Spencer or Laura Wright and like, I don't like Laura Wright. I'm not looking at her like that. I'm looking at what I would like to see for the character as writing goes. Like, Carly has been on that show. The character of Carly has been on that show for, what? Has it been longer than, it'll be almost 20 years? Has it been 20 years?
I think so because I know that the character was on when I started watching in the year I think 2000 or 2001, and that
Yeah,
was by Sarah
so
something. So
she's coming up on her 30 years. So the Carly character would have been on for 30 years. And it's more about like transitioning this character into be like, Carly really could be the matriarch of the show. But because they write her so polarizing, it's so hard to watch her be that, because she hasn't addressed anything before. That's my thing. Like, if anybody who knows me knows that I'm all about the history of a character. It's like
oh, I
Rachel
know that.
Corey. Rachel Corey from Another World was not a good person when she started on the show, but as time went on, they found a way to ground Rachel Corey to make her more of the matriarch of the show, and that's when I ended up liking Rachel Corey being the matriarch, because she actually addressed how she treated Alice, how she took that woman's house and her man, and laughed about her losing her baby in her face.
Oh,
That's how you write characters. You don't write them bad just so that they don't have to pay for anything in the end. You write them in a way where, like, payback does not have to mean they have to go to jail or die. It means that they recognize, like, everybody in their life has to sit with themselves and say, you know what? When I was 20 years old or 25 years old, I did not treat those people the way that I should have treated them, or I didn't do my best by that person. Like, that is okay. People in real life do that. You hear stories all the time about people realizing they didn't treat someone the way they should have when they're like 50 years old, and they're thinking about what they've done when they were 25. Like, a good story for Carly would be her having a midlife crisis.
hmm. No,
About her.
no.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no, no. I was going to sit there and say, no, no, no. I get it. It's, a lot of times when it comes to these soaps and these characters and everything like that, um, no offense, but sometimes people sit there and think with their emotions, right? So when you sit there and say something about Carly or whatever, it just goes back to the whole, oh, Samuel Smith, they're hating on the character. And it's like, no, it's more about the writing, the inconsistency, and just how bad something is. It's more of a critique towards the characters. It's not something just saying, oh, I just blindly hate them because I'm just a very hateful person. And
It's like
I'm saying that because I want the people in the chat to understand. Because sometimes people will sit there and think with their emotions, and the first thing they sit there and say is, "Oh, Sam Smith, they hate." Like I like Carly, but I could sit there and listen to what you're saying without being all emotional and be like, "Oh, you're just being a dick, and you just don't like Carly." So I'm just trying to
I
get
like
yeah.
I love Tracy. Tracy, this is the woman who who did not want to give the pills to her daddy when he was over there faking a heart attack so he could see if she was a good person or not to him. Like Tracy has done some awful things, but Tracy also had moments where she had to reflect on who she wanted to be. And like even in that death with Gregory, I think to me, like I wasn't like a big fan of the whole Gregory thing, but I really thought it brought good story for Tracy. Like thinking like if I would have met Gregory at a different time, would I ended up being a better person? Would my life be different? Even when Tracy's mother was alive, Lila didn't always let Tracy just skate. She recognized like, okay, Tracy, you done too much, and we're gonna have to ban you from some things because you don't have boundaries. And Tracy, as time went on, of course, Tracy can always get into her bags of schemes. Like she's not like a stranger to being a schemer, but she's very much also she's grown. She knows how to she knows when she sees somebody who used to be like her, she knows how to tell them you're making a mistake. Don't do that because that's going to mess up your life. If you want to know how, it's because I've been there. She's not she don't come off as a like she can always be like I don't want to say self-righteous, but she can always look her nose down at people, but she does have this grace about herself that she can recognize like I know I have not always been the best person, but I'm gonna make sure you don't fall down that same rabbit hole that I did.
Yeah.
Like that's why I felt like it was and this is why I feel like General Hospital feels like two different shows. Like Jason and Carly and Sam, that whole section, Sunny, that whole section seems like General Hospital, the mob series, and then the other side of General Hospital with Finn, Violet, Tracy, the Quartermains feels more like guiding light.
Oh,
it
take a
feels
look
like
at that because I haven't
it
watched.
feels like it feels like guiding light on that side of General Hospital. It feels like two different shows are on at the same time
Hmm. Never looked
because
at that.
it like the Quartermains, Finn, um, that whole section over there is more family oriented. It's like I can tell Patrick Mulcahy wrote that section of it, and Liz Corte is right. She wrote the section of Sunny and Carly and all of that. It feels very disjointed. It doesn't seem cohesive.
Isn't she the only writer right now? Though I heard the other guy got fired or let
Yeah,
go.
he's gone, but some of his stuff is still I think is still being aired, possibly.
Oh yeah.
It does not feel like one person is writing the shows that we're seeing because there's a half of General Hospital I love, the other half I don't. Like
Hmm.
that whole thing with Finn, that's good. That is good.
Yeah.
And they did a good job with adding Tracy to it. where Violet calls Tracy and Tracy comes over and she takes a picture of Finn drunk. Like that's the stuff that Tracy does. Tracy gonna remind you of your past and your bullshit. That's what I like about Tracy. She don't let your ass escape. She don't let you forget that, bitch, you was this.
She did it with Carly.
And
Every
that's
time
why they
she
don't
with Carly.
and that's why they keep Tracy away from Carly. Because Tracy will call Carly out all the time. Carly just can't walk in the Quartermain's house and Tracy's sitting up in there. Oh, when Tabitha, when she had Endora, she was 80 years old. Well, she was also a witch, so it tracks. I didn't put too I wasn't too hard on Passions because it was not your typical soap opera anyway.
Yeah.
They also had demons at the bottom of the who house was it that had demons at the bottom of it?
Passion sounds like a trip, but it sounds like it would have been a fun show for me to. It sounds like it would have been a fun show for me to watch.
It was a fun show. It's like one of those cult those cult fan shows. So like it was very out there, but I liked it because it didn't take itself too seriously. So I was cool with it, like being kind of silly because it didn't come in trying to be like we're going to try to be like General Hospital, Young and the Restless, One Life to Live.
Port
It was
Charles?
like no,
Port
yeah,
Charles?
it was. Port Charles started as
Yes, that's true.
a real soap opera, and then it started. And see, that's what I didn't like about Port Charles. I was like, you're already coming in looking ashy, and now you in here looking more ashy.
Well,
Nice.
I mean, I used to love Port Charles, but that's just my opinion. Port Charles actually got me in a general hospital. So
When it started getting away from like the medical side of it, and it started becoming more like vampires and
yeah, I know
all this
I can see that turning people. Here's the thing: I started watching it when it was like the supernatural stuff. So I think I might have had a different opinion more. Like if I started watching it and then it just turned into supernatural stuff, then I probably would have maybe had more of that opinion. Be like, what the fuck?
I remember when Port Charles, I think it had came on when it like its debut episode. It came on at night. It was in the 90s, like 97, I believe. And they was like doing this big old like promo on ABC about a new soap is coming. Port Charles is coming. I think it aired on a weekend. And it was like I want to say it was like a 2-hour long soap opera thing.
Shit.
And then after it was over, it was like tune in for Monday for the new show of Port Charles. Like it tried its best to like ride off of the coattails of General Hospital, but it just wasn't. I think it was in the wrong time slot. It was also just not like it was up against Young and the Restless. It came on at the same time Young and the Restless came on.
Exactly.
And you ain't nobody finna turn off Young and the Restless to go watch Port Charles. And then I just thought the name was kind of not a good name because if you were like kind of like an in and out watcher of GH, what you knew about Port Charles was that was the city name on General Hospital. And it was like, well, why are y'all writing the same soap opera pretty much with the same name?
Because it's in the same city. So what would they call it if they wouldn't call it Port Charleston?
Well, that's my point. Like, why that was to me that was not a good idea because The only way Port Charles might have would have worked if it came on after One Life to Live and then General Hospital, like Port Charles leading into General Hospital, or
Okay.
maybe Port Charles coming on after General Hospital. I don't know, but it's starting the lineup like it's a new show. It's it's going to be the weakest show of all the shows that come on at the same time as Port Charles. It was not
So you
going to
need to
do
have
it.
something lead it. Yeah, you need to have something that's going to lead into. Yeah.
Right. It could have came on between All My Children and One Life to Live, because All My Children had a decent fan base and they probably would have watched Port Charles.
Well, you also have to sit there and remember you did have One Life to Live. Um, well, I mean, for me, because I'm in New York, so yeah, One Life to Live and then General Hospital. But Ron wants to ask you a question before he leaves.
About Everett Lynch having DID and Stephanie still wants him. Oh, well, I mean, that runs in Stephanie's family. Stephanie got an auntie that was DID. So her having a boyfriend that's got DID ain't nothing. Her auntie got DID. This ain't her cousin DID. Like it running the family for her. She just like, oh, it's just another day in Salem.
Hmm. Now, I want to, I'll let you have the floor. Any last thoughts or whatever before we sit down and wrap this up, Samuel? And also, thank you for
Um, I would like to say thank you guys for always listening to me and disagreeing. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But that whole speaking of Everett Lynch, I don't. I they should have just brought him back as Nick Fallon, and that bring Nick back from the dead. And I also I don't like that Ava don't have any children on the show anymore. I wish they would have never killed off Charlie, because I think he probably would have been a good way to be like the new Stefano, like a young Stefano, not necessarily being a Stefano Demira, but being like, instead of having Clyde trying to be like the new villain of the show, why not just they could have just had Charlie be the new villain of the show, like have him like you know working with, I ain't gonna say working with Clyde, but have him being the mastermind of everything, and just kind of like kind of working possibly with Constantine and the card situation with John. Like I think Charlie would have they really kind of missed the mark with Charlie being that new villain. Like we don't have to kill people off or redeem them at every chance we get. Like some people just need to be evil because that's how you have a show. It was okay for Charlie to be evil. I was cool with that. And it being Ava's kid and Ava having to reckon with, oh shit, I got an evil kid that I gotta be dealing with, and maybe have it kind of like Ava is always trying to kill her own kid because of how evil he is.
yeah, but they killed them off because of the whole R word thing. It's the same thing with Kiefer. Kiefer hit and beat Christina, so he had to go. And like, this is something that DC said, which I agree with. Sometimes you need to sit there and have an extreme character like that. Um, you need to have an extreme character that's either going to be maybe a racist or homophobic or whatever. And I get that, there's times, these times people are very sensitive, but these characters are real. These characters are real. And, like Todd or whatever, they kept him on the show. Luke, they kept him on the show. And like Charlie, they killed off because it's a very sensitive subject. So it's like, you know,
Right. Also, and I know we gotta go, but also I am not feeling this whole baby thing with Chanel and Johnny. I just don't understand, why do we have to go through a pregnancy just for her to lose it when we just didn't have to do this at all?
well, I mean, miscarriages do happen. Stories like that do happen. So what do you
I mean,
mean?
no, I understand, but what I'm saying is now we got to listen to where Chanel was mad with her mama. Now that she done lost the baby, now we got to go through another round of weeks of her being mad with her mama again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I guess they just gearing up to get them off the show, because I guess are they going to still be moving now that she done had the miscarriage?
I
I don't
heard,
know.
I heard that because of the actor maybe leaving because he has a new son and everything like that. So
I just I just wish that they would have made Chanel more of like a more of a schemer and vixen, like kind of more like Teresa in a way.
I don't think they were able to balance her right. Like for me personally, like when she first came in the show, I felt like she was too extreme. Then they changed the actress and she was more mellow. But it's like now they made her too mellow to the point where it's like now she's boring. So it's like I
Yeah,
felt like they didn't know what to do with her.
and I like Chanel. I just don't like how they are. I don't like how they're writing her either, because she didn't need to be pregnant. She was running her business. Let her business kind of, like, she could be baking cookies, but hell, she could also be getting people high that she want to scheme and use for their money. Like, you know what I mean? Like cooking, like, I don't know. Like, I would have had Chanel getting all the dirt on EJ, like letting her be the one to know that um she she would have been the one to know that he knows that that baby is really Eric's.
Mm.
She's staying in the damn house. like
That's definitely a wasted opportunity right there. Yeah, I would sit and agree. That's definitely a
and
wasted opportunity.
use that against him to get up off her mama.
Ooh.
And also had it where she could extort him for money, and
Extort him for
have
more money, yes.
and what happened with the rivalry. I don't like how they're writing Holly. I'm like, what is going on? Why is Holly acting like a little princess? Because she came on the show, scheming and ready to sleep with Johnny and
Yeah.
all this stuff. I just I just wish they would have brought Holly back as a full blown adult and just let her go and sleep with Johnny and have Chanel mad about it. Him and her go through it. She sleep with have Chanel sleep with EJ, but also extort him at the same time
See, that would have been good
and
stuff.
have his baby and have his baby, have EJ's baby, and have her pass it off like it's Johnny's.
I like that. I like that. I think my only thing is though, because again, just quoting DC, he always talks about the next generation. Having the teens kind of be the next generation or whatever. Um, so on one hand, yes, I definitely do agree with that because that would have made some good definitely some good reviews. But do you think that it would have also been like a missed opportunity to sit there and kind of grow the next generation.
Well, that would have been part of it. I mean, are you asking me what? Are you asking like my thought of what I just said? Is that a missed opportunity to grow the next generation?
Yeah, like in that sense of maybe keeping her a teen, a teen, still could have had all the scheming stuff, but like not
Oh
an
no,
adult.
no, because we haven't seen Holly in years, and well, it's not the first time that they store a kid. Like it's okay. She could have came back as an adult or like just graduated high school.
Okay, that makes more sense. And I meant DC Soap Sanctuary, DC Soap Sanctuary, Unlimited. Johnson says, I always thought Holly and Tate were aged too fast. They should have brung in teen versions of Sydney and Parker because both of them are older.
And that's the other thing. The kids that need to be grown, they're not grown. Because I'm not gonna lie, it's throwing me off watching Tate, who look like he's 30 years old, and watching Holly go to the prom in the summertime, I might I add. Because it's summertime. Why are we watching a prom in the summer? That prom should have happened way before now. And just watching like these pseudo characters that are supposed to be Tate's and Holly's friends, it's not doing anything for me because when Sammy had a friend, guess what that friend was doing with Sammy? Helping her scheme. It would be different if Holly was scheming and she had her friend helping her scheme, and but they kind of had like a rivalry between each other. Like she would know that that Holly did like Tate, but she was going to find a way to intersect their happenings so that they don't get together or whatever the case may be. But
Yeah.
it's just not doing anything. It's just these teens are boring in today's soap operas. I hate watching teenagers in soap operas in the 2020s.
No. But I'm sitting there thinking about that because, like, just thinking about Sophia, I do think that was a missed opportunity where she was like, so you're not going to say anything, right? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's good for the romance stuff or whatever, but that would have been a good opportunity for her to sit there and scheme, or maybe for her to be like, hey, listen, I know you like him, but I like him. And if we don't want to get in trouble, you better sit there and find a way to stay away. I thought that from the beginning. I was like, that would have been really good. And she would have been like, yeah, I'm going to make sure I'm going to keep them apart. And she would actually been like a good vixen or whatever. Instead of her just being like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't like you, but I'm not going to say anything though. It's like, yeah.
And Holly could have came back as an adult, and I would have made her Leo's friend. I would have made her Leo's friend because that would have been a little bit more like, because it's not uncommon for gay guys to have girlfriends in that way, where he could have been helping her scheme, or she could have been like, he kind of could have been like, kind of putting him in like a big brother role to her, kind of like a pseudo father to her, like kind of like a gay dad in a way, so that it gives him something to care about. And like I said, I would have had her mad with Nicole and had that baby kidnapped and let her be the one to be helping Sloane kidnap that baby.
Ooh.
They just did everything wrong.
No, I mean, I definitely see how they, from what you're saying, that they could have added a little more spice. How, like I said, even just going back to Sophia part, just to kind of make her more of a character that, you kind of didn't like, but you kind of rock with. Like, she was kind of bad, but like, you sat there and did this whole scheme behind my back and you supposed to be my best friend. Why I gotta sit there and just kind of take it easy on you? Why we gotta sit there and eventually get back to being friends? It's like, no, this is a good time to sit there and be like, okay, their rivalry started because of X, Y, and Z, and now you have this other character. I felt like they could have probably spotlighted her a little more better, but for some odd
Right.
reason, they chose not to go there. Maybe to play it safe or whatever. But yeah, I
And
thought about
have
that.
her. I would have had Holly all over the town of Salem because the way, and then when her and Tate got together, I would have had her, instead of it being about Tate, like her liking Tate. I'm not saying she wouldn't like him. It would be, but her reason for being with Tate would be to get back at Teresa and kind of make them like the new rivalry in the way that Sammy and Kate used to be.
Hmm.
And just have her like flaunting him around in front of Teresa and kind of pretending to her like she respect Teresa, but have her, and what I need Days to also stop doing, stop talking out loud in the park, in the kitchen, in the bathroom. Stop doing that. Talk in your mind the way that Sammy and all the rest of them used to do back in the day. Like, instead of Leo talking out loud, I would have him thinking about it in his mind. Instead of having Holly talk out loud, have her thinking about it in her mind. And just have Holly finding out that she knows the secret that Teresa is keeping so that she can be with Tate, and Teresa would have to leave her alone, or else Holly would tell her secret.
You mean Sophia? Oh, no, no, no,
No,
no. Serious about, okay, yeah, about what? Yes.
like about Alex.
Yes.
So she keeps it a secret. But once people find out that Holly also knew, the kind of like how that would make Maggie feel and Sarah feel about Holly, because that's Sarah's niece, that's Maggie's granddaughter. Like, there needs to be more of a family unit for Holly, to where that way when she is scheming, she's hurting a lot of people while she's doing it.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I do. No, not, no, I get what you're saying.
Holly is the new Sammy, but they ain't treating her like that. They're not treating Holly like the new Sammy. They
Or the
had
new
it in the
Nicole, or like aspects of Nicole.
or aspects of Nicole, but I want her like Sammy because Nicole doesn't like Sammy. So then when she has her own little Sammy, now she's trying to wrestle her feelings with how, and having her recognize like have Nicole just kind of being like, you remind me of somebody, but it's not me.
Hmm.
And it just hits her when they like, I got a damn Sammy.
The duality of that. I like that. I
Yeah,
like
and
that.
just
I like that.
have her talking to Marlena, and she just says it out loud to Marlena, like, I got a damn Sammy. And
Ooh,
Marlena be like, excuse me?
I like that. I like
They're just
that.
not.
Yeah.
But anyway,
No, no, no.
I
But I'm
know.
just saying, like, you, I mean, James always sit there and say this, and DC and I say it. A lot of times the fans, we've been watching these shows for a while, and we kind of know how they work. And I feel like I know sometimes there's budget issues, there's all sorts of issues going on, but like, a lot of times we can generally make some of these shows a lot better than what they are. Or at the very least, hey, listen, why don't you sit there and come in on these streams and kind of see what Samuel's talking about, see what I'm talking about, see what DC's talking about, because a lot of the stuff that we sit there and say it's not out the budget all the time, It's nothing
Because
that's super like crazy. But the
Exactly,
usual
because
circumstances, yeah.
you don't have to put Holly. She already has a place to live. She's already living in the Mirror Mansion. You don't have to put Holly in her own set because she's not old enough for that. So she really could just be doing all her scheming at the Demira Mansion. Like I would have her going. Um, I kind of would have Holly and Kristen being like friends with each other. Like Holly and I mean Kristen and Nicole may not like each other, but having it where Holly's like, "Oh, Kristen's teaching me how to play chess." You know the way Stefano would be playing chess
Hmm.
and have her playing chess with Kristen, but the whole while she's kind of like they're kind of like spilling tea with each other. Like she knows some things that Kristen is telling her. Holly's telling her some things that she knows about other people in the town, but they're kind of like not, but they're keeping secrets for each other. So like she's kind of like the mother hen to Holly's scheming and kind of training her to be a good schemer. The way that when Gabby would get in trouble with shit and she would go to Sammy and Kate with her shit, like when she killed Nick and they trying to teach her how to cover up the damn murder. Like do the same thing with Holly. Like people's parents don't have to like each other for them to like their kids.
That's true.
And just have it brought up where it's like, you know, Kristen, I know you don't like my mom and everything, but I think you're kind of cool. And have Kristen kind of be like, yeah, me and your mom never really got along, but I think you're kind of cool as well. Like it can be brought up without it being like a fight. You know, it's just there's so many like Days is probably the best show on, but they are missing so many marks to have the excellent show that it could be.
Yeah, I can see that. Unlimited says, Samuel, I would love to invite you to be one of the first guests on my soap podcast.
Are we going to be arguing duality? Because I don't want to be windmilling for my life just because I have an opinion.
No, I mean I would like to sit there and say, duality. There will be more of a debate, you know. Like honestly tell you the truth, when you come on here, whatever, I'm not sitting there going back and forth with you, whatever. It's like I'm just listening, It's like I may agree, I may not agree, or you may sit there and say something and be like, okay, you know what? I didn't really sit there and think about that. That's why I like having people like you on, like DC, or even just have you in the chat or whatever. Because like you'll sit there and say some shit, and I'll be like, yeah, we will do the debate episode after the first one. But I
Yeah,
feel like
I'll be in this podcast.
yeah, I think as long as people keep it civil, and you don't have to sit there and always like what somebody has to say. It's just agree to disagree. Tommy says, thank you, Tommy. Tommy says, why do Victor and Jack have so much hate on each other?
So the reason why Victor and Jack don't like each other because when Victor came into town to Genoa City, he was there to actually help Catherine run her business because Chancellor Enterprise was it Chancellor Enterprises? It wasn't doing well. And Victor came in to turn it around and he did that, but he was also scheming to get Jabot. He was and then also it's not just about the companies, it's also about Victor slept with Ashley. Like Ashley and Victor's history goes back way before Abby was even born. Um Victor Ashley went crazy at one point because Ashley had a miscarriage and she didn't tell Victor that she miscarried his baby and he kind of disowned her and that made Ashley feel like he didn't love her, and she ended up going into like the crazy house until she was able to get herself better. But a lot of Victor's and Jack's feud has a lot to do in and out of business. Some of it is about Jabot and Newman Enterprises, but a lot of it is about them fighting over women, whether that was Jack's sisters or if they were seeing the same women, sleeping with the same women. Nikki has slept with Jack. Nikki was married to Jack one time. Victor was married to Diane, I think a few times, or they were at least in a relationship a few times. And Jack and Diane were together. So it's not just about like, it's not just one thing. It's a conglomerate of a lot of things, is why Jack and Victor do not like each other. And then on top of that, Jack has been somewhat of a father figure to Nick and
Adam?
Victoria.
Oh, I thought it was just Adam. Okay.
No, no. Adam and Jack are more like friends rather than father and son. But when Nikki and Jack were married, he was their stepdad, and he would help Nick with certain things. He would help Victoria with certain things, even sometimes how to navigate their relationship with their father.
Oh.
So, and then sometimes when they would hear, I think there was a episode one time when Nick told Victor that Jack was a better father than him, and that didn't sit right with Victor.
I don't think that was it with any father. Jesus Christ. Okay.
So there's a lot of things that happen with Jack and Victor, but that's the bulk of why they don't like each other.
Well, thank you for answering that question, because see, Samuel got the history.
I've been trying to tell y'all, y'all can't just be going off of what y'all see today. Y'all gotta go do your homework. Y'all gotta do your homework.
Nah, I get it.
I just don't be pulling it out of my ass. I do my homework about these people. Now I don't know all of Carly's history, but I know enough to know that she ain't paid for a damn thing.
Like Tommy says, you got the history, you got the receipts.
I'm like that. I need Carly to pay her bills. Her bills are due.
I like that. But no, listen, Sammy, I want to thank you for coming through tonight. I appreciate you. Always appreciate your opinions. Even if I don't always agree with it, I respect it. And there's certain times I will sit there and learn from it, or at the very least be like, okay, you know what? Listen, I can sit there and see his point of view. That's interesting. I mean, believe it or not, there's times I'll sit there and do my reviews or whatever, and depending on what soap, and depending like if I hear something, it's like, you know what? I'll bring that out because that was a good point. So I just always want you to know that your opinion is always valued, even if we disagree on certain things. I appreciate it.
I don't feel like I'm never like I'm arguing with you in a laughable way. Not
No, we good. We good. And my bad if you thought that I was like sitting there like giving you certain pressure or I was pressing you or anything like that. I was just, I was just You're just talking. You're just talking. Plus, it was the alcohol. So I'm going to blame the alcohol as well. But no. But thank you for your time. I appreciate you always, Samuel. Thank you for coming.
No, I appreciate you for having me as always.
Absolutely. Listen, like I said, Samuel, anytime you want to come through, just be like, yo, listen, I'm going to come through. And
I just be trying to. I can't say everything I need to say in those little comment boxes. Because I be trying to get my point across in a way that people can understand rather than just like I'm not, don't read what I'm saying in these words, but go deeper.
But also a lot of times if you sit there and say something in text, you know how people are sometimes. No offense, but some people will sit there and take certain things and they think about it emotionally. So if you sit there and say something and they don't sit there and read the emotion behind it, or you don't explain yourself, it's like, oh, it's just coming across the same as just being harsh, or he's just hating or whatever. It's like, no, that's not it. It's just constructive criticism. That's why I had to sit there and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I gotta sit there and kind of defend my boy Sam before, man. It's just, it's not hate. It's just constructive criticism. I'm a Carly fan too, but I get what he's saying. So,
Yeah.
but
All
no,
right.
yeah. Thank you for coming through, Sam. Anytime you want to come through, you're always welcome.
I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm just joking. All
Anytime,
right.
man. Anytime. But thank you for coming through, Sammy. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
All right, later. I only been in and out the chat. Can't stay. Unlimited said, right, the comments aren't and stuff. No, they're not. They're not. It's just constructive criticism. It's just even the comment he said about the whole, not feeling bad about Carly's mom's death. I had to sit there and question him on that, but it's just his opinion, and he's talking about a fictional character. Take the cap off, bro. It wasn't the writing. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining tonight. I appreciate every single person. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Jonathan, for your super chat. Of course, I'm going to sit there and write it in my community tab. But thank you, everyone, for joining. Also, apologize to Kyrie's because I'm pretty sure I went over his time slot. So, wear what you want. Exactly, Cherie. Wear what you want. But thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate every single one of y'all. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next live stream. Laters.